Good morning, you beautiful bastards out there. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in and around this beautiful planet, aka the blue floating marble. Shout out to the gang if you're here in Toronto. Shout out to you if you're in Ontario. Shout out Canada, the US, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Australia, Caribbean islands, everybody doing it. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've been a long time viewer and listener to the show, thank you very much. If you're just joining us today, go ahead and hit those subscribe buttons on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Check out Patreon. Talk about it. What do we do around here? Get together and have fun on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tickle each other's membranes from afar, from near, everywhere in between. Trying our best to just have a good time. That's all it's all about, man. Ladies, sip sip to the gang. Happy falling, happy tripping, happy falling. It's that fall season, baby. First day was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. First day of fall was yesterday. Today's the second day. A whole new season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's get into fall mode today. Let's get into, man, fall. I love fall. Today we're going to talk about fall and falling and tripping and what it entails to be a fellow or a lady who's a fan of the falling. You know, autumn, some people call it. You know, that's nature's typically comprised of 4 seasons. All the, you got your classic summer, you got your winter, counterpart the summer, you got your spring, which is mild summer, and then you got fall, which is mild winter, basically. So you got 4 variations, 4 variants of seasons. And right now we're entering fall. It's beautiful. Fall is that, this is slowing down, but it's also prep work for new beginnings. That's what falling is. That's what fall is all about. And you see beautiful changing colors on the trees. You see yellow, typical yellow, beautiful red, classic red, orange. Some trees you might see purple, different shades of rouge. Man, all the beautiful colors. And that's nature's canvas, dude. That's nature's canvas. That's nature's paint. And you don't see the brushes, you just see that's like magic right there. That's what that is, magic, essentially. It's a miracle. How it all happens on this beautiful, giant, floating sphere. We're floating, baby. Spinning, floating, levitating, fighting gravity. Working with it, at least. Using it to our advantage. Can we agree to disagree and agree? And disagree, agree. Can we agree to, there is some stuff that's whatever it is. And I'll take your word for it. It's gravity, right? Beautiful. Gravity it is. Nice. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Give into it. That's what I say when it comes to fall and falling and tripping. But that's what it is, man. Spring, summer, behind us. Heading into fall. What does fall entail? Fall is, fall is about getting comfy again. Fall is about, all right, okay, we've gone thus far in our journey of this year, and there's going to be a little bit more left. What does that mean? That means we're going to be preparing. That means we're going to be, oh man, things are going to be changing. What changes with the coming of fall? Clothing changes. For sure, clothing changes. I've definitely layered up. Talking, hoodies and t-shirts and wife beats, that's what it's at, baby. Pants, let's go. Soon we're going to be layering up, doubling up on pants. Not there yet, but that's fall. You can still get away with 1 layer of pants, depending on your comfort level, And here it's like, this morning when I got up here in Toronto in the city, it's like 6-7 degrees. So it's like borderline, we're getting, it's getting there. It's going to be a quick, dramatic shift into winter, but enjoy fall as much as it lasts. Go out there for as many walks as you can if you're in the city. Anywhere else in the world, if it's if walking is available, do it. Get in nature, get in touch with nature. Let nature touch you, touch nature back. It's good to give and go, give and receive, give and take. It's all about giving and taking with nature, with everything, really. Man, oh man, but fall is beautiful, man. Fall is nature. We used to work with, It wasn't before we adapted to like the regular work weeks and what have you. We did used to operate on seasonal timing. I think that's what I've heard. That's what I've read a little bit. That's what I've seen depicted. Again, I don't know. I've never been there. Back in the heyday, stacking hay, working with hay. Hey, that's what it's all about, man. But I used to work, I think, during summers, during maybe spring summers. Autumn, you probably worked a little bit, and then you started probably like shut it down for winter. That's when you shut it down. We used to, I think, that's again what I've heard, maybe just hearsay, and that's something that you hear and that's something that you say. So I've heard it, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna stand by it, and I'll double down if need be, I'll triple down if need be. But show me evidence proving otherwise, I'll easily back away. I'll be like, all right, nice, tight point. Because I like, it's all about learning and growing. And that's part of falling. You can't, you got to empty up your cup before you can fill it up again, some might say. Which is get a bigger cup, others suggested. Stop refilling. To each their own. Maybe you like a nice hand to cup ratio. You don't want the cup to be too large because then you might feel emasculated. Or you might feel, less of a woman. But then you get a small, medium-sized cup. Sure, there's going to be a few trips to the refilling station, but at least you're not, looking at like a chump out there just holding an extra large guzzler of it. Ooh, well, let me get my triple X large drink so I don't have to refill. But man, do you, proportion wise, is it looking like, if somebody were to take a picture of you and they look at you from the future and be like, oh, and that lady's got super small hands compared to that extra triple, quadruple XL large cups, what would they think of you? Would they think that you're, what are you putting out there, lady, fella, with that X triple quadruple XL drink? Oh, I'm better than people. I'm better than others. I don't need to go for refills. My hand, despite it not being large enough, I can still maintain this cup filled with liquids, large X triple large cups. 750. A liter of liquid, just one hand in that shit. Big dog, doing it. But that's some people from like that. Others are a little bit more modest. They're like, I'll take a small medium, I'll get a refill every once in a while. And then people look at you from the future in pictures and photos holding to a regular sized cup. They won't think nothing of it. They'll be like, oh, reg person, big cup. Questions may arise. Will there be, like, let me answer it for you. I don't know what it is. We've tried to, decipher this. What is it? What makes people go for the triple X large drinks? What kind of person? You don't see too many movies about that. It's always just, oh, can I get order of fries and burger and a medium-sized Coke with that or something? They'll say regular. You never see that, but that's the thing. They do exist. They walk amongst us. And what does it lead to? I don't know. It depends what you got in your cup. But that's just cups and hands, man. What are we talking about here today? Falling, of course. Careful, because if you do, that's the thing too with big drinks. Spillage. Liquid on the ground, foots up in the air, 90-degree angle, coming down perpendicular. Now you're just all sorts of shapes and sizes. You've broken bones. They're calling the emergency services. One is the number is his or her first day on the job. A 911 is a 9. So many numbers. So the staff is overworked. They're under pressure. Will they attend to you? Of course. Will you get the treatment that you deserve? Yes. In a timely fashion? Yes. Is there going to be time for rehab? You're going to have to put some time for, wow, you could have avoided all of this had you gone for a small to a medium-sized red cup so that people wouldn't have to question you in the future or question themselves or, just overall. Humanity, us living and interacting with cups. And isn't life a big game of cups? Where is it? Where is it? Is it middle cup? Far right, far left cup? Is there even anything, once the game starts, is there even a ball underneath the cup? Because that move with the hands is fast and it can catch you off guard. It's all about they say it's an illusion. That's what they say. They say it's an illusion in the game of cups. They say once the game starts, these fellas, ladies are trained so to move the ball so quickly that no matter which cup you choose, there's nothing underneath there. And man, you're going to really want to fight it and be like, oh, I see what you're doing there, fella. I see what you're doing there, lady. Yeah, Maybe maybe the monkey on his or her shoulder got the ball, dude. Ever think of that? Ever think of that? Maybe. Does it still haunt you? Of course. You know, you lose a few bucks, leaves it's printed. It left a memory, of course. Will I get over it? Maybe one day. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. But the point is that we are falling. We're in autumn now, which means, you know, time to get the old leaf blower out there. You know what I'm talking about? Time to get the leaf blower out there, start blowing some leaves. You feel me, fam? You don't have a leaf blower, time to start queefing out some mage queefs to just clean up the yard. You and your hubby, you and your loved one you bought a new house. You've been living in the same house. Family of adults living in a house. No leaf blower. Queefing can do the same trick. Take turns. One person, you hold up someone's legs, they're queefing, blow the leaves. Alternate between the two of you. Man, if there's 4 of you, that's like twice the man and woman power. So yard work, it is a thing. It's part of autumn, it's part of fall. I don't indulge in it myself. I don't dabble. Haven't touched it in a while. In over 15 years, I'd say. Yeah. So that's a thing, man. People do it. Be careful out there. You know, because you're going to be lifting stuff. You're going to be filling bags with leaves. You're going to be raking. You're going to be, you're going to be taking out some old plants. You know, the flowers that were meant for spring and summer. Replacing them with new plants. Fall, winter plants like cabbage. Like a nice little, you make yourself a little cabbage garden. Oh, we had a whole town in Toronto. Part of the town was cabbage town. And that's what it is, man. People fascinated with that vegetable, fruit, the greenery that you can also eat, not just enjoy aesthetically, but it's also full of nutrients and what have you. People like it, but that's just cabbage, you know. So we're rocking and rolling. It is Friday, after all. The weekend is upon us, which means, oh man, things are gonna get loose on the weekend, as per usual. That's what the weekend is for, to loosen up a little bit, to have a little bit of fun. Work a little bit, but still, you know what I mean? Just because we never really stop, do we? Despite the fact that Mother Nature's like, man, you guys should really stop. Maybe we should, I like the way you guys have thought of the whole clocks and calendar system. Well, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe our system is the best system. Probably is. It's been working really. No, you know what? It is. I'm gonna side with the system, with like calendars, with time. I'm down with time, dude. I'm down with time. I'll support time. Time's one of the. It's been with us. Was it here before us? Did we invent it? Was it here for us to fit? I don't know what the answer is. Particularly, don't even care. But what I can tell you is that I do support it. I do like the breakdown routine of things. But again, if you were to listen to Mother Nature, it'd be like, oh, let's slow. It's time to it's time. Mother Nature wants to put a pillow over. Under, not over you, because a pillow over you would be like Mother Nature trying to suffocate you. Oh, get off me, Mother Nature. And it's like, oh, I love you. It's like, oh, get off me. But that's just Mother Nature putting the pillow over you. But under you would be nice. That's Mother Nature telling you to put a pillow under you, under your head. Typically it's under your head. Pillows are under your head. Unless you're doing a dirty and you're using it for like back support and arching. Oh man, because like an inch or two in particular circumstances can make a huge difference. But that's another topic for another day. We're just talking about resting at this point. Mother Nature suggests that you put a pillow under your head, pull the blankets over yourself, get comfy. Oh, put an extra thick layer of socks on your feet, socks on your hands, socks on your face, dude. That's the way Mother Nature wants it. But, there is life also calling you out there. Every time you want to get a little bit comfortable, put a couple of socks over your hands and feet in your face. Life's out there. It's like, oh, you puss. I see you. Getting soft. And then you're like, no, man, I'm not getting soft. What are these socks on these hands and these feet? No, man, I was just keeping these for a friend, man. They're not even mine. And you just chuck away the pillow from under you and the blankie over you, and sure, Yeah, and you're out there because why Mother Nature wants you to relax. You know best that hardworking ant, a bee, insect will always have to be prepared for the elements. So it may be Mother Nature's schedule telling you, oh, maybe we should slow it down. You're out there like Mother Nature hears you, but there's so many elements, and with all the respect and love, Big Mama, still gotta maintain a certain level of go-getterness, if you feel me. And all of us are all of us have that within us, and that's why we fight nature, because nature wants to be like on my schedule, and we'd be like, nah, we like you, we respect you, but it's gonna be on my schedule. I love schedules, dude. Me and schedules go way back to the agenda days. Remember back when you were younger and you had agendas in schools? Those were nice. Those were nice. Nowadays, is it good to keep an agenda? Is it not good to keep an agenda? Different people do work in different ways. Some people benefit from having an agenda, writing everything down that they got to take care of. Others like memorizing it and forgetting it, and that brings an element of surprise into your lives. Whichever way suits you best, really. That's how you should live it. Not here telling anybody what to do. Barely know what I'm doing myself. So, with that in mind, we are falling. It is beautiful. Things fall. Falling? What makes things fall? Aside gravity. Aside that thing called gravity. 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 Air peace signs. Gravity. Yeah, because I do want to change just like peace and peace to like, if we can air copy, that's something that we'll work, gang signs, we'll work on it, gang. We're getting, we'll figure it out together. But what is falling? What makes things fall aside? Gravity. Man, things that get old, essentially. Fall is, because you have your turn, everything has its turn, and things on this planet, on many other realms, I would assume as well, are cyclical. Things take turn. There's new things. There's no things. At one point, there's just nothing. And then there's some things. And then there are new things. And then they're like used things. There's second-hand things. Third hand, fourth hand, hands and feet. It's a hands and feet game. Things get used, get old. After a while, everything starts getting, oh man, what is that? It's starting to smell in here. That thing's getting old. It needs to be replaced. And that's Mother Nature coming in and doing its own replacement. Like, oh, beautiful leaves we've enjoyed during the spring and summertime. But it's time to, put the kibosh on the old leaves game. You feel me? Time to shake it up, shake it down. Time to get rid of all this foliage. And that's what it is. It's rinsing itself. It's, getting rid of all the layers, the excess, perhaps. Maybe not even excess. Maybe that's what nature is. Innately, it knows that it needs to recycle in order to be able to flourish once again. Because you can't be sustaining something if it's like getting old. I'm not talking about reg old, because reg old, there's so many things that are old and gold, baby. But sometimes old as mold, and it sort of stinks. Oh man, when it starts to stink, you're like, oh man, that old thing is a mold thing, and it needs to be removed. It's like a tumor, like a dirty, that's dirty, you'll say, smells. You want to remove it. That's what nature is. But nature gets rid of the whole, there's not much odor in nature in terms of, thank God too, imagine every time it was fall and leaves were changing, and it's essentially a rotting process, right? It's compost, essentially. It's recycle. It's compost, recycle, circle of life. It's a triangle with a number in between it. 2 to 3 is good, I think. Everything else is hit or miss. I don't really know anymore. But that's recycling. We're falling. The fall is nature's way of recycling and taking from itself what has been used, enjoying it, and then tossing whatever else it doesn't need aside, and having some downtime, reflecting. Oh, next year I'm going to branch out a little bit further this way. Next year, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna be more inviting to a few more bees here. We're gonna just cross-pollinate up in this bitch. That's flower business. Typical classic flower business. If you're a florist out there, I'm not talking people who are down with the floors. Those fellas and ladies are also cool too, but I'm talking about people who get their hands dirty with them, clippers, them scissors for the trimming of the bushes, dude. Them ladies and fellas who are into trimming bushes. I'm not talking about personal hygiene here. I'm talking about florists, not people who are into, oh, I got a heavy foot, I'm gonna floor it down the highway. Not those florists. Florists that are fans of forests, and greenery, who open up flower shops. Those fellas and ladies know what I'm talking about. Rare, those fellas and ladies. They're around, not too rare, but still, in the grand scheme of things, small group, community. More people should probably indulge. If I could, I would. Later down in life, I'm talking about a green thumb. But that's just you getting in touch with nature. We're just talking about falling today. We're just talking about falling. Don't trip, don't fall. Unless you're just like, man, that's what happens when some things, and that's the beautiful things. We tend to get rid of the unnecessary. We keep the essentials, the goods, the meats and the potatoes, and whatever is redundant. Nature, and we're a part of nature, we do that too. Whether it's you get rid of skin cells. I'm just shedding skin cells, right, left, center, up, down, east, north, west, south, all the coordinates on the map. Shedding skin like a snake, like a Slytherin, but that's just all of us. That's dermis. That's just the top layer. What's at a bedrock, baby? That's inside that counts. So we do, all of us. We get rid of skin, we get rid of hair, nails, we consume things and then we get rid of it through bodily exertions. Fun times, and whatever makes us up, we also, or whatever we make up too, we sometimes get rid of those things as well. Get rid of the things that aren't working. That's what fall is a reminder of, that you can always fall and then get back up again. Some things just never, it's been around for so long, you're like, man, this thing, we could just get rid of this thing. Wouldn't it be great if we just got rid of this thing? And it could be whatever thing that's, obviously redundant, obviously just not working. It's time to fall. And that's what that is. And it may be whatever it is. It may be whatever, man. Some things, it's like, oh, man, the way we've been, I don't know, pick any industry, something that you're an expert, something that I'm an expert in. Oh, man, it's not an expert in much, but if I could be an expert in many things, let's pick any industry. Let's pick any industry, dude. Any industry that comes to your mind. Any industry that comes to your mind. Talking, we're selling fans, industrial fans. That's right. We want to clean up the place with new air. We are in the air business. Yeah, circulation. We're into. Ever heard of a thing called AC? We're in that business. Air conditioning and heating too. Heating and cooling. We're in everything that's anything air related. We're in that business. We're in that, but we've been in it from the get-go. I wasn't in. My father was a air developer, transactor of air. No, he was full of air. It was gassy, definitely at times, for sure. But his father too was in the air industry. That's right, in the air industry. Wind, energy. And at one point that I'm trying to get to is that at one point this business evolved. It was, it started like, oh, how do we, room temp, how do we adjust the room temp? Just a couple of fellas and ladies sitting around. And, somebody, it started off with a sneeze. Because before, I'm talking like way back, somebody sneezed and sure, they got some particles on whoever was within the vicinity, but also the sneeze created a little bit of breezing effect, if you will. Right there. And it was like, spring, summer, transitioning into fall. Somebody was like, man, it'd be nice if we could have a little bit more, if we can get a little bit more breezy in here, just a little bit, a couple of more degrees up in this bitch, a little bit more breezy. And they're like, man, I like what you did there, dude. What'd you do there? And he's like, what? I knew anything. He's like, you did something there. You just changed the atmosphere. You just did something here. And he's like, all I did was sneeze. They do it again. It's like, I don't got to. So they tickle each other right around the nostril region for a couple of seconds, and eventually somebody sneezed. And again, particles did fly, but again, the air flow created a little bit of a cooling effect. And they're like, only if we can separate the two, remove the moisture element, keep the breeziness. And well, what is that? It's like, man, that's some sort of nice condition, dude. Ladies, they said that to each other. If we can, that is a beautiful condition. Only if we could condition air. And then sparks, fire, air, wind, earth, dirt, elements. We're all available, but somebody's like, you know what? Somebody started going like, man, this is overwhelming. And as soon as they're like, man, this idea is overwhelming, they went like this, flapping their hands. All of a sudden, breeziness, more breeziness, which, long story short, led to the development of men and women being hired with giant leaves to go with a leaf and just blow you with a giant leaf. And that was, again, amongst the first steps of air conditioning and getting air in motion and what have you. And that business evolved, and we had trained men and women to blow each other, others. I've only heard hearsay, Your Honor. I'm resting the cases. The cases are well rested, Your Honors. I stand by that. I sit on it too. I stand by it. I stand beside it, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, brothers and sisters in farms. Point is that, we're like, man, this is great, but it can't be scaled. So eventually, with the help of innovation, technology, good people working, thinking outside the box, we had the original fan. You're like, how did it begin? There was, we had a giant, somebody made a giant circle made of wood, and there was a person who'd stand inside that giant circle, and the circle would spin with the person inside, because everything was manual back then. And as the wheel was turning in the center of the city, in city center, this one person would spin and blow, and eventually we replaced the technology, taking all our jobs. Fan blades came along, but those used to be regular people standing. Fans were people. People were fans. People are still fans of not just, there's so many spaces for so many people doing so many wonderful things, but that's evolution of that business. So we did, the point that I was trying to make is that we got rid of some ideas that were not so bueno, that were like, oh man, leaves, and people like, let's automaton this shit. That's what we said. Let's get rid of what's not working, let it fall, and move in a new direction. A direction where air conditioning is available to all the masses as far as the eye can see. Man. And that's how we made our name in the game. In the air conditioning game, that's right. That's right. And if you think that still is made up, well, fella, lady, let me tell you something. You're not wrong. But that's aside the point. The point is to find the moral of the story. Sometimes it's not even about the story in itself. It's about falling and rising. It's about new beginnings. It's about putting away the old, what doesn't work. Clearly, what doesn't work. Put it aside and embrace new, better ideas. And again, it's very tricky. It's very tricky, right? Because in every industry and in every scenario, you're like, man, I don't want to just toss out the old babies with the bath waters. Keep the bath water. Get rid of what's not necessary, the babies. Or whatever's more important to you. Everybody's priority lists are different. Bath water is scarce. Bath water is it's scarce, it's limited, it's valuable. It is good dirty bath water is hard to come by. So don't be just like wasteful and everything, because like babies, again, easily can be replaced. Bath water, you lose a whole bunch of gallons of bath water. Think about all the effort you got to put into create that whole bath water situation again. How did you get it? Was it your own bath water? Did you make it yourself? Do you now have to go get dirty for a few days, a couple of days, a week? How long? Because that's good bath water is, we age our bath water with, because that's, you can get cheap bath water for like whatevs, it's just like a day old, half a day, 2-hour old bath water, nothing, no real texture, no real, doesn't really do much for sure. I mean, it's still bath water, but you get a week old bath water, you get a man. Sometimes what we do for our dirty bath water, because we provide the best, we provide a whole arrangement of bath water, from couple of hours to a day old bath water to cream of the crop, creme de la creme of the dirtiness, if you will. How do we make it so dirty, you ask? With bums. That's right. With you're like, man, remember at the beginning of the pandemic where there were a lot of people on the streets and what have you, and there still are. Man, that's still an issue, isn't it? Homelessness. It's a big thing, but that's what we do around here. We got some of those fellas and ladies who are dirty, and we ask them for a day or however long they wish to stay with us, and we place them in those dirty bathtubs. You're like, why don't you give them clean bathtubs? I think you're missing the point. The whole point of this is to get dirty bath water, because that's important. And that's what we did. We got the dirtiest people we could find, and we compensated. I don't remember how, but we asked them to stay with us for about a month, and really just like, oh man, it's a stew fest. It's a stew. This is a special brew. We were aiming for, man, people would go, ideal case scenarios, you'd have a whole different bunch of levels of dirty getting into the water, so that you got a nice, and that's what we did. We got a nice batch. We mixed it up. This ain't that single malt. This that double, triple malt. Is that how do they make whiskey? How they say, single malt. That's what we didn't go the single malt route. Is that the best? Which one's best when it comes to whiskey? One malt, single malt, two malts, multiple malts. Whatever method that's best for distilling whiskey, we use that same mentality with, I'd walk around the bath house, I just sneeze in the bathtub myself. I haven't done laundry, man, I just toss my laundry in there, let it soak. We experimented is what I'm trying to tell you, and basically we got rid of the bad ideas and we kept the good ideas. And it's been flourishing. Knock on wood, everything's going well. Dirty bath water is doing, not too shabs, dude. Not gonna lie to you. And there's plenty more of that. So you wait for it, and we'll get it distributed to every household. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it is fall. That's what I'm trying to get to. And fall is beautiful. Fall's romantic, because it's a bit of a slowdown, but it's also, like I said, it's the beginning. It's the new rise up. Things are rising up. As they tend to fall, they're followed by a rising. And a rebirth, if you will. I know I will. Rebirthing, I don't know if I'll do that again. Like, I've already been, I've gone through, you've gone through. If you're here with me today, congratulations through birth. So let's not go through the rebirthing part, because it's just too many hurdles, too many obstacles, time reversal, In my case, man, there's just too many things that rebirthing, I'm not ready to go back and like, uh, metaphorically speaking, of course, let's rebirth. But isn't that every day you say that? Pretty much, literally, it is. We're rebirthing every day. Woke up at around 6, 7, crapped myself in the bed, uh, cried for milk. Typical. I went through the whole, by 7, 8 in the morning, I was already like, mid-teens, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, right where I'm at, 32, full functioning adult. I rebirth quick, dude. That's what I do, because people sometimes try and be like, oh, I rebirth on a daily, dude. I go from, again, it's all about breaking down your day, intensive, sucking on the thumb, crap in the pants, 10, 15 minutes. Those are your early, formative years. You come up, I'll play with a couple of Legos for about 5 to 10 minutes. Boom, we're into young youth adolescence. Next thing you know, I'm, learning, playing sports. Boom, by the time 9 hits, I'm having coffee, smoking like a full grown fetus who does things. And that's rebirthing. That's regeneration. That's shedding of the old, regrowing the new. Sometimes you're not even shedding and you're just growing anew. And man, you should probably get that checked out. You've gotten it checked out, no remedy for that eczema. It's just one of those things you're gonna have to live with for the rest of your life, isn't it? Every once in a while it'll show up and it's just like a reminder of renewal right on your, oh man. Sure, it's itchy, but it's not the worst thing. There's other things that people, but that's the thing. I don't like to, oh man, make a big thing out of it. Like it's but that's just, that's just us going through it. Like a bunch of champs, semi-intelligent, depending on your variation or definition of chimp, chimp, champ. We're chimping, we're champing. Different, some days easier, some days not so easy, but isn't that what life is all about? The mix of the not so easy with the easy, not so easy with the easy. It sounds nice when you say it for some reason, not so easy with the easy. Anywho, any place, anywhere, anytime, ladies and gentlemen. Where can you find these videos? Again, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays on YouTube. Subscribe for the full-length videos. Help the algorithm, because the algorithm is in dire need of help. With your assistance today, we could save thousands of algorithms, all the algorithms. If you subscribe, man, ever drive by late at night and watch a lonely, scared, shirtless, shoeless algorithm on the side of the street? And I'm like, man, I wonder what I can do to change that algorithm's life. I say, it's nipping it in the bud. That's, before it happens. That's probably the best idea. So oftentimes people are like, oh, but I'm so far removed from the algorithm. It's all the way over there with like, I can't relate to it. It's got flies over his or her head, oh, that algorithm there is like just I can't relate to that algorithm because that algorithm's just like in another time zone, dude. That algorithm's like, when we're asleep, they're awake. When we're awake, they're asleep. I don't even know, but that's the thing. You put all those differences aside, and you'd find that you have so much in common with that same algorithm, and it's basically it comes down to saving the algorithms, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If we could take a moment to think of something other than ourselves, like the algorithm, and how to push the algorithm in the right direction, how to pull the algorithm in the right direction, how to work with the algorithm in the right direction. Should there even be an algorithm? Some say yes, others say no. I'm somewhere in between myself. I particularly don't really care, but I do believe in supporting everything and everyone. And when it comes to supporting the algorithm, I'm out there, baby, doing it. You can do your part too. Sure, there's a million different things that we could help get rid of, but it's baby steps, and after this, it's going to be cancer, it's going to be homelessness, wars. We will stop it all. We will start it all. Whatever the fam wants, we'll start it and stop it if need be. We'll press the pause button. Hey there, fella. We can just talk it out. Is what you're saying. I'm like, man, that's what I say all day, every day. So support the algorithm with, by checking out Patreon and supporting the show. The algorithms will have access to school supplies, to a good, sturdy, healthy, wholesome education, 3 meals a day. I'll make sure they get 3 meals a day. I'm talking about the algorithms. And this is what we do. We tickle each other's membranes. We talk about literally everything and nothing. And on most days, I just like being silly with y'all. I just like hanging out and getting in there in that headspace, if I may. Just a little bit. You got a little bit of space in that headspace, or in your heart at least, inside you. And because I do, and I know you do too. And aren't we just doing it together? Do you feel what I'm saying right now? You do. Do you? Excellent. We're on the same page. We're doing things. I'm very optimistic about where we are as a species. Individually, feeling good. As a species, as a unit, as one united unit, as one single unit, moving in different, made up of billions of parts. For the most part, I see moving in a very bright direction. I like where things are heading, and it's all thanks to the falling. And the rising, of course. But again, one must fall in order to rise. Could you rise before you fall? Some have done it, but they're already like, if you rise without falling, if life were like, if we're playing video games and like, you got your square little pixels, I guess if you're not on ground level pixel, then you could technically rise higher without actually falling, because you're like, let's say you start off, Super Mario game, maybe you're not even like first square pixel, you're not, maybe you're already on blocks, so you're elevated. So technically you don't have to fall to rise. But you will, you're playing a game, dude, you will fall. Super Mario, for sure, you're gonna there's levels. Other games too. I've not played games in so long. That's mad. But that's just games. I like to play in the real game. I like to play that real life game of life. That's the most exciting game. The most exciting, because all the elements are there. Fire, wind, earth, dirt. Somebody's sneezing on you. Everything. You're walking down the street, an old shoe staring at you with and it's in decent condition, but just one pair. Why just one? It's just the left foot. Well, what happened to the other one? What happened to the person? You see the shoe, it's just one shoe. How come there's no foot inside? Does it make sense? That's the thing. How do you leave, it makes sense if it was still a foot in there, but no feet, no foot, and the shoe, and it's just like, and it just drives you insane. You're like, man, I wonder what the story of this shoe is all about. I wonder what happened to that fella or lady. How do you lose one shoe? How do you not lose both? Do you continue on just with one shoe? Did you lose one shoe and continued on your journey with shoe? I respect that type of fellow or lady. A fellow or lady who's so determined to move forward, they don't even notice they're missing a shoe. Dude, your foot, oh man, your left foot's just bleeding. And you're like, I don't care, doggy. I'm gonna keep marching forward. Because I've seen some videos, and I feel motivated. I like that. When there's nothing left on the skin, bone, marrow. It's just oozing and pussing. You're like, you could have avoided all this injury by just wearing your shoes, or like getting up, getting down, picking it up, lacing yourself back up. But you're like, no man, I'm too determined. I want to start, I'm going to go right to the bone, dude. I don't need these I don't need luxuries like shoes and skin and nails and proper, just everything being well put together. I don't need that. That's soft. That's what we are. Soft? Yes, yes, no, yes. A good like soft, hard, medium, rare. Medium rare. That's what we are. When it comes to like, if I were a steak, if I were a juicy, medium rare steak, stick a fork in me, cause I'm done. Enjoy. Oh man, you slice right into it and it's like, flavors, the aroma. Take a minute, let it cool down and just enjoy life. And that's falling. And that's tripping together. So enjoy every moment. Everything that is good will remain. Everything that is unnecessary will just, we're just refining up in this bitch, I think, together. Now I believe that. We're just refining. That's what we're doing. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all the love and support. I hope none of you guys and gals out there are suffering from any jock itch. I hope those ringworms, are you suffering from ringworms? I hope they clear up soon. Vaginal yeast infections. If you're a sufferer of vaginal yeast infections, you're not alone. I'm there with you. Okay, all right. Like, in spirit, I can't feel that same. You're oozing and pussing and it's just, man, it's time to get some meds, lady. I supports it. I'm there with you. If it's burning when you pee, sir, I'm there with you. I am the burn in your pee. That's how close we are. I'm the burnage in your pee. Essentially. Because that's where I'm hoping to be. Like, close is a set. I am, I hope you're, let's say, your nipples are chafed because you're running out there, you super athlete freak, son of a bitch, in the morning, 4 a.m. lady, shorts in the middle of winter. I'm that itch on your nip, fella. Supportive, essentially, because those times you're like, man, I wish there was something reminding me that I'm not alone. You're not, dude, lady. I got you. Every time you feel that little bit of discomfort, I'm right there. Supporting you. Being there with you is essentially, that's, because I can't be everywhere all at the same time, all things everywhere once again. Like that movie that I've yet to see, but I appreciate the title. I like it. Everything's all over the place, all at the same time, up in this bitch too. But that's I think that's the whole message. Man, we have a lot in common, all of us. Same thing all around, all at the same rate, give or take. So now it's been a so-so production. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's Friday. Go have fun out there. Enjoy life. Be safe. Sitting next to your husband late at night, just flash him. Fella, surprise your lady there by taking a extra long shower and have her be like, man, what are you doing in there? And be like, nothing. And just wait till she opens the door and you're there and it's all foggy and, oh man. And then you pop your head out and you got a rose. You're biting down on a rose and it's the weekend. It's about to get romantic. You're welcome. Enjoy yourselves. I'll be back here again on Monday. Talk about it like it's a new form of whatever, a good thing that will, change. We are the change. We're like a positive. We're basically, take what we did with we're the gain of function of entertainment. That's what I feel. Gain of function of entertainment. Spread the word. Peace out.